policies of Akbar. See, Akbar knows that Rajputs are very much strong. Rajputs are very much strong. He realized that if he will win the confidence of Rajput, he will become more powerful in India. So he adopted the Rajput policy. In this, he married he married Rajput princess, and apart from this, Akbar provided some of the important position to Hindu Rajputs. Okay, important position, like they will feel that they are the integral part or they are the important part of his empire. Like you can take the example of Todarmal. He was also a Rajput and he was having the administrative responsibility. So he planned to marry, and what happened? They provided good and important position to Rajput rulers also, and they said that you can rule your territories, but you have to obey in front of me and you have to pay the taxes. They will be dutiful towards Akbar. Okay, this was the first policy of Akbar. Maybe it is there in the book, I don't know, but I am telling extra. Okay, next policy was the second policy. Alliance and conquest. Alliance and conquest. Can anybody tell? If you will look at this term, alliance and tussle, fight. They saying if any ruler, if Akbar sent his administrator or any person to any ruler to accept his alliance, that is good. You can rule your own territory and you will be dutiful, or you will pay some amount of taxes towards the Akbar. So it is fine. If any ruler rejected this alliance, so it will be conquest, means that ruler will meet Akbar in the battlefield. This was the alliance and conquest or expansion policy of Akbar. Many. And one of the important conquest from the Deccan part, Chand Bibi. That Chand Bibi gave the toughest resistance to Akbar. Rulers were there, but toughest resistance come from a lady, and Akbar appreciated her effort also. Ultimately, he was defeated by Akbar, but she showed her bravery at that time. So Deccan campaign, Gujarat campaign, Bengal, among all the campaign, this Deccan campaign was a special for Akbar. Okay. Now let's talk about the other policies. As I told you in the beginning that we called Akbar as the Akbar the Great because of his some religious policy. Okay, I am writing in short. Okay, because try to understand. Religious policy. He was very much intolerant or tolerant towards other religions. He was very much tolerant towards other religions. It was not like that if a Hindu or any other religious person is living in his territory, he was not allowed to observe his faith and religion. No. He clearly said if anybody belongs from any religion, he or she is free to observe his own religion or faith. So this was the one of the policy and tolerant policy of Akbar. And after that, he abolished 2 taxes also. One was Jizya. Second,
Jizya was for non-Muslims.
can anybody tell what is the basic difference between jizya tax and pilgrim tax? Pilgrim, you know this word, pilgrimage journey. You can correlate this thing. And what is jizya?
Jizya was not paid by non-Muslims. Muslims did not pay it.
Like,
And it was exactly equal to Zakat also.
like you can say that Akbar's rule was there. See, he abolished the jizya. Earlier, before Akbar, what happened? Non-Muslim were used to give jizya. Why? See, jizya is a kind of tax which was paid by the non-Muslim. They are residing, they are living in the Muslim territory. They had to pay the taxes. In return, Muslim ruler was responsible to protect the non-Muslim from the threats of the enemies. In return, this thing, you also remember that if Hindus are paying taxes, in return they are getting the protection. Okay? So, this is about the jizya. Earlier, people used to give, but during the period of Akbar, it was abolished. Okay? It was finished by Akbar. Now,
Finished by him.
yes, it was abolished, finished by Akbar, no tax, equality maintained. After that, he also removed the pilgrim tax. What is this pilgrim tax? Earlier, what happened? Pilgrimage, like the people are going to pilgrimage journey to Makkah and Medina. We are going. Like during that period of time, Hindus were there and other religious people. So, they visited to their holy places also. Okay, so when they were visiting to their holy places, they had to pay the taxes to the government, or you can to the empire. They had to pay if they will do pilgrimage journey by the Hindu people. But during the period of Akbar, he also removed this pilgrimage without any tax. Move to your place or observe your faith. Understood? This is one of the important policies, and because of his tolerant policies and other things, he got the title of Akbar the Great.
When Jizya policy was given by Babur.
Babur also, and after Akbar, different rulers reimposed this policy.
I heard it was for that, so that relationship between Muslims and Muslims give zakat, so non-Muslims should give
Can they? Yes. Okay, till here everything is clear? Everything is clear? Please remember all the things. Sometime what happened, everything is not there in the book. So I am adding on that. So whatever you feel that this is extra point which is there, which is not there in your book, so you can write it. Okay? Next topic is related to the very important topic. This is a very important topic of this chapter. Okay. So time is only 5 minutes are there only. I just want to introduce this topic. Inshallah, in the next class we will discuss this topic in a more detailed way. Okay. So if we will talk about the administration. What is the meaning of this word administration? Do we people having any administration in India? Organization, organized maintenance and implementation, execution, different things. And in empire, administration is very important, and we need a administrator also, main administrator. So if we will talk about the Akbar's administration, the whole power was in the hand of Akbar. Emperor hold the main power. First important point of this. And apart from this, he maintained a very strong military or army. Okay, and especially we will talk about the administration in terms of territory. So he divided his empire into different provinces also. Okay, open your topic and see. There are Subedars, Talukdar, Muqaddams, many more. They were responsible to look over the provinces and other things. Look at the administration of Akbar. Administration of Mughal Empire. Major contribution comes from the side of Akbar. Just read out and mark the important things in your book. Take out the pencil and do. Side by side, please prepare your notes as well. Try to understand the systematic arrangement of the administration of Akbar. Who will come first? Who is responsible to take the charge? Okay, mark it. Akbar's Deen-e-Ilahi is also very much important. Don't forget. Inshallah, when I will take this topic administration, I will add that this point also. Akbar's Deen-e-Ilahi. It is not mentioned, na?
Deen-e-Ilahi is mentioned.
Akbar's Deen-e-Ilahi. This is? Tell what is the confusion? He divided his administration into two parts, central and provincial. Central. That is why I told you to read out this topic. I will explain this topic in the next class. Just to read out, because administration is quite confusing. If you will read one more time, so it will give you better understanding when I will explain this topic. That was the reason. Like people are having government at center, state government, provinces is equal to states. So centrally based system was also there and state based also. Okay? So I think time is over. Inshallah, this topic of Akbar administration we will study in the next class. It is my request, please prepare your notes. Whatever we have discussed today, please revise it and just read out this topic, Akbar's administration. This topic is quite important. Okay? So this is all about for today's class. Jazakallah. Any interesting fact? Any found people?
W-I-O-N.
Those are direct article. अच्छा स्टूडेंट क्लास में welcome.